Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another book recommendation video. This time I'm going to be talking about romances with dual POV because dual POV just gives you that full story and I just love them. So without further ado, let's just hop into the video. The first book that I have to recommend is Indigo Ridge, specifically actually the whole Eden series. They're all dual POVs and I love them. I love Devney Perry's writing, but this series has something else in it. So this series follows the Eden family and each book follows a different sibling within the Eden family, and then it sort of is an overarching plot of what is of the kids taking over the individual Eden businesses. This one in particular follows Winslow and Griffin, but the second book is actually my favorite that I've read so far. But they're all really good books in the series. The thing that I actually love most about this series is the romantic suspense part of this, and actually thinking of doing a whole romantic suspense book recommendation video, so let me know if you'd want to see that because those are some of my favorite romances as well. But these books are always so good. They never have the third act breakup, which I love. So because they have that romantic suspense element of having conflict within the relationship, they never have the third act breakup, which I absolutely love. So that's another great plus about this whole series. Anyways, I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil anything, and it is a very popular book series, but just know that it is dual POV and you will probably be addicted. I just realized these are all part of series, but the next books that I have to recommend are the Beautiful Bastard series. Beautiful Stranger is my favorite that I've read so far, but they are all really good and they all have different tropes, so you might like the different ones. So make sure you look up the tropes because you'll figure out which one you probably like most based on the tropes. The first one is an office relationship and sort of like enemies-ish to lovers, hate to love, grumpy sunshine. No, they're both grumpy actually in the first one. The second one is a sort of second chance voyeur. It's also a voyeur romance. And then the third one is best friend's brother, childhood friends to lovers. Yeah. Those are the tropes, and I haven't read any other of the rest of the series, but those are sort of the tropes for those three books. They all have dual POV, which is amazing. I love being able to get the male perspective in books like these, so I definitely recommend it. These books are a lot of smut. They're definitely more smut than plot, honestly, so just be warned going into them, but they are really good, so I definitely recommend. I still really like the romance and plot lines of these books. The next book that I have to recommend is Truth or Beard, which is the first book in the Winston Brothers series. The whole series again has the dual POVs, and these are all sort of like a southern small town romances, which again, I've been on my small town romance kick lately, so I've been really liking these. I liked the first one a lot more than the second one, but I'm actually currently reading the third one and I'm loving it so much. It follows all the different Winston brothers from the Winston family, and the whole family is just such characters. It's the best part about these books is getting to see all the brothers and their hijinks and seeing them bring partners into that mix is just really funny. These books are hilarious and I definitely recommend. These are definitely rom-com books. They're not meant to be taken too seriously. They're very fluffy. They don't have a ton of like deep moments, I would say, in them, but they're a really great time. The next book is sort of the exact opposite of that, which is Full Tilt, the Full Tilt duet, but I've only read the first one because I've heard what the second book is about and I don't know if I love that. So, but I really, really like the first one. The it sort of is like a new adult or adult version of A Thousand Boy Kisses, except way more emotional in my opinion. I read this book actually before I read A Thousand Boy Kisses, so I like this book a lot more, but maybe if you've read A Thousand Boy Kisses, you'd like that better. But it sort of is the same plot, it's a very similar plot line, so just know that if it is very, very sad, very triggering, you should definitely make sure you check the trigger warnings before going into this book. If you're in the mood for something that's just going to rip you apart and then but be the most beautiful thing that you've read, this is a great one for that. But it does have dual POVs, which is great, but makes it even more heartbreaking. So I just feel like this book does not get the hype it deserves. I hear about A Thousand White Kisses everywhere, and I've heard like hardly anybody recommend this book, and it's just so beautiful, and I just really want more people to read it. And last but not least is Longshot, or the Hoops trilogy. I've only read the first one, so I can only recommend the first one. But it is another one that is very sad to read about, but also so just beautiful. It's very hopeful. Definitely check the trigger warnings because there is on page triggering, very triggering moments. So make sure you look at that before it. Do not take the triggers lightly in this book. Again, this whole series can be read as standalones. They follow different members within the like hoops, like within the basketball industry, but they all sort of do interconnect in different ways, the characters. Kennedy Ryan's writing is just beautiful, and she does second chance romances so well. I haven't read her new book that just came out, but that was also a second chance romance, so I'm excited to read that one, especially after reading Longshot. But anyways, I definitely recommend this book. The way it goes back and forth, and you get to see like you really need the full picture for this book. If you only got one side of it, I feel like you wouldn't be getting a full picture of their beautiful romance. So this one is like a really great one for dual POV. Actually, they all are, but specifically this one, I really like the aspect of the dual POV. So I just love this. And that's all the books that I have. There are a lot more books I could make. Again, like I could make like 3, 4, 5 parts for this video though, because I love the dual POVs in romances. I used to hate them because of the miscommunication trope, because you could see where they're both miscommunicating, but I've grown to love it, and I love when I especially love when there isn't some miscommunication, which I don't think any of these books have. Maybe the Winston Brothers series. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave it a comment down below what your favorite dual POV romance is. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.